all season long. That's not very many. DiVincenzo. Gobert rounding out the 5 with Julius Randle. Gobert, and the tap is won by the French. Randle
was fabulous the other night. 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists.
Shot clock's already down to 1. Not gonna count. Wonderful defense by the homestanding. Suffered last season during the postseason.
Yeah, he's missed 16 games.
Merrill got into paint, had his shot blocked. DiVincenzo battling for the loose ball. It will stay with Minnesota.
It was a danger at home in France, and so maybe a little overexcited on that one.
McDaniels, his first shot of the game. Actually, Minnesota's first shot of the game. Tapped up and in by Rudy Gobert.
Oh, our guys in the studio, guys in Swin Cash and Taylor Rooks, just talked about Rudy's offensive impact, and that guy makes a huge offensive impact every night, Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell just got passed by Steph Curry yesterday for the NBA's lead in three-point makes. Gobert has not missed a shot in a while. He has now made 18 consecutive shots over the last couple of games. That is a Minnesota Timberwolves franchise record. Mitchell quickly 2 for 2.
Well, that's exactly what we expected coming into the game, a shootout between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, Eric.
That's right. Edwards, crushing pick set by Gobert. Randle rings the bell. 3-ball for the left-hander.
Yeah, he's been on fire from 3, only shooting 34% on the year, but now 11 for 23 in the last 5+ games.
Mitchell has all 5 for the Cavaliers. Needs a little help. Jared Allen back to the iron. Stays with Cleveland. Mobley. First and 2 for Evan Mobley. Refreshing score here. 7 up, 9:40 remaining, first quarter. McDaniels bumped off his path. They're letting him play here. We've had a couple of guys hit the deck. No whistles. There is our first whistle, and it comes almost. Edwards. One-on-one with Mitchell. Now working off the screen from Gobert. Cleveland can regain the lead. Bad miss by Randle leads to the run out. Not going to stop that. Evan Mobley, dunk number 82 on the year.
That's just really poor defensive balance, though. When the shot's taken from the top, the guys on the wings have to be back all the way when the ball's in the air. Seeing too many runouts in the NBA this year for my satisfaction.
DiVincenzo, always with the quick trigger. First 3.
Well, he's now 11 for 20 over the last 2+ games for 3. Has been on fire.
Donovan Mitchell against his longtime teammate Rudy Gobert wins that battle. A lot of history between Gobert and Mitchell for many years, both jazzmen. McDaniel, size advantage. Easy too.
Wow, just used his size on Merrill. Merrill defended as well as he possibly could have.
Oh my goodness, Sam Merrill's just getting thrown around. Got crunched by DiVincenzo. No whistle. And there's Tony Brothers' whistle. Tied with Orlando, 21-18 through 39 games.
Well, the big thing has been injuries. Last year at this time, 39 games in, their 4 All-Stars had missed 5 games total. This year, they've missed 38. That's a huge difference. I know fans don't want to hear excuses, but that's just a reality.
Still enough time for them to figure it out?
Oh, absolutely, especially a team that's been together as long. Plus, let's remember, they've still got Max Strus coming back at some point in this season.
Shot clock's at 3 and a whistle. DiVincenzo had to work just to get the basketball. Picks himself off the floor and misfires from deep.
That was absolutely tremendous defense by Sam Merrill chasing a shooter. You want to talk about how you get through screens against shooters, what Sam Merrill just did against DiVincenzo, the last possession, is textbook.
5 minutes into our game, McDaniels cuts, reverses it up and in. And Minnesota leads by 3. We played a
so far. When you think about first of all, Coach Atkinson, of course, he attributes a lot of his success to his post-playing career, and he had an opportunity to establish himself at the embryonic stages at those positions at Paris basketball as Jarrett Allen puts the ball into the basket. And then 2 decades later, of course, he's leading France to an opportunity in achieving a silver medal at the Paris Olympic Games. When his top coach Finch, well, the very early stages of his career, he was at the BBL, the British Basketball League, and furthermore as the head coach for GB's national team. I can speak as an honorary Brit on the team and say he's seen as a legend in those parts. And much like Nick Nurse, head coach for the 76ers, sees the true value in worldwide basketball. Look, speaking to both coaches, I'll say again, the common denominator that they have is they're so grateful for those experiences worldwide. They understand how much is given them in terms of as an NBA coach now at this stage in themselves. And Stan, I have a question for you as the resident coach in our team. Can you see the European influence of both of these two teams as they continue to
go in for the first time for Minnesota? Rudy Gobert with a hammer. He does that a lot. Leads the NBA in dunks. Cleveland has a new backcourt. Craig Porter Jr. has checked into the game, along with Jalen Tyson, first-round pick 2 years ago out of Cal. This is DeAndre Hunter into the game. Misses badly on a quarter 3.
Well, Hunter's really struggled from 3 this year. Only shooting 31% coming in.
Anthony Edwards. Still a whole bunch of nothing. This is a guy who averages 30 points per game, hasn't scored halfway through our first quarter. He's going to get another chance. Ask and you shall receive.
But you see the kind of space he created with Jalen Tyson, who is a very good defender.
Jerry! Oh my! Right on top of Gobert! That's a fair fight right there. Allen takes it to Gobert. Since day one. Anthony Edwards, he's got a quick 6.
Well, Hunter couldn't decide if he wanted to go over or under that screen. He's got to be much more decisive. And I say you got to go over against a guy like that.
Hunter with another misfire, and the ball stays with Cleveland.
And they've stayed remarkably healthy, so they haven't needed a lot. The other night, the Cavs outscored Minnesota's bench 46-19.
That's a problem. Evan Mobley and Clark, 5 on the floor for Minnesota.
Well, it's about the best defensive lineup Cleveland could put on the floor.
Without Jarrett Allen in the game.
Yeah, but Mobley, I think, a little bit better at center, and Porter, Tyson, and DeAndre Hunter all plus defenders.
Blocked from behind by Naz Reid. Numbers advantage for Minnesota, 5 on 4. Someone's going to be open. Clark. Reid runs down the loose ball. Stripped away by Mitchell. Tyson. Self-made up the window.
Nice pass by Donovan Mitchell. And the older Sabonis out. And quite honestly, the pre-NBA Arvydas Sabonis may be the best player on that list, even ahead of Jokic.
They talk about him like he was the abominable snowman. Up and in, Evan Mobley. Good start to the second quarter for the Cavaliers. Cleveland in that first quarter, they shot 54%, but it wasn't enough, Stan, to keep up with the 56% for the Timberwolves.
Well, and the Timberwolves with 5 threes to only 2 by Cleveland.
On the run-out, first time touching the ball, that's Naquan Tomlin. No-look pass to Hunter, who crashes to the deck. 77 in a row. There's 22 in a row. All you need is 55 to get Mark Price.
About the entire list of great point guards that the Cleveland Cavaliers have drafted.
Those teams in Cleveland in the late 80s, man, were they good. Just kept running into Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Dante DiVincenzo back into the game. He's got a 3.
Craig Porter Jr. decided to shoot the gap on that screen. I don't like that against shooters. I think you got to stay on their body, like we talked with Sam Merrill earlier, and chase them through screens.
Mobley had a 3-pointer blocked. That never happens. Gobert took it from him. How do you block a 3-pointer shot by a guy who's 7 feet tall?
You're Rudy Gobert, who's even taller.
Nas, Reed off the window.
Well, what Rudy can do there is he can give him space and still contest up high. He doesn't need to get right up on him.
Donovan Mitchell runs into a wall, out to Porter Jr. I think the entirety of the state of Delaware watching right now, we have the only two active NBA players from Delaware, and one of them's Dante DiVincenzo.
But again, they're not right on his body. Dante DiVincenzo's a guy that can really get it going. You've got to be right with him all the time. He's already made 3 tonight.
How good is Donovan Mitchell? The two Delaware natives in the backcourt playing catch. DiVincenzo and Highland. In the history of the NBA, only 7 guys from Delaware. 7 guys who play high school ball in Delaware, and we've got 2 on the floor right now playing for Minnesota.
Screens.
First free throw missed by Jalen Clark.
From 3 and 65% from the line. Those numbers are going to have to improve for his minutes to go up.
Donovan Mitchell, the Cavaliers down 7. And Mitchell is pushed. Foul on Clark.
Well, he can get it done defensively. He's quick and strong and tough.
Hunter. Highland. A lot of dribbling for Bones. Gobert, an offensive rebound. Oh, little Steve Nash working the baseline. Give the 2 to Bones Highland.
Steve Nash was talking on the studio show about the Nash dribble. He doesn't like to call it that, but that's what everybody refers to it as.
Oh, Rudy Gobert just taking it away from Mobley.
Rudy Gobert is a nightmare for Evan Mobley right now.
Bad lob to Gobert, leads to the run out. Porter, blocked by Reed. Porter Jr. splits the gap. Lost it on the way up. And he's beefing, that means Minnesota's got numbers. And that's a wide open look, just a gift. Oh, Cleveland gifts Minnesota.
Yes, sir. I had the first assist.
Oh, you
Yeah, I had the first one.
don't let him dictate where you go. Behind him, you contest on the side.
Hey! Come on, EJ.
Great stuff. Jared Allen, Rudy Gobert wearing microphones. Will be listening in all afternoon long. 10-point game. Minnesota had been on a 14-2 run before that last time out. McDaniels back into the game, misses a 3-pointer.
Well, just like the other night, so far the difference is from the three-point line. Minnesota made 20 to Cleveland's 11 the other night. They've made 8 to Cleveland. I like about what they do with Sam Merrill for Cleveland. I go back, does that just like Minnesota does with DiVincenzo. If those guys are open, the ball's going to find them, and they're going to get an opportunity.
3 good-looking free throws, like a gentleman, Sam Merrill. Okay, so it's Highland, Reed, Edwards, DiVincenzo, and Gobert. That's the 5 on the floor for the Timberwolves. Reed, may have been touched by Tomlin. Edwards. Gobert, influential. It'll be Cleveland basketball.
Cleveland needs more defensive possessions like that. Tomlin and Tyson doing an outstanding job.
Darius Garland scored the goal, had a foot on the line. Maybe a long 2 for Darius Garland. Back to a 5-point game. Reed, DiVincenzo. And with the shot blocked out at 2, DiVincenzo.
Got enough of a Utah reunion, we might as well add another guy.
Jingling Joe Ingles, now in his 12th year, he's 38, folks. He has only played in 11 games. He's got 2 points on the year, but he's got the ball now, and he draws contact from Merrill. book in Minnesota. Edwards got bumped, missed with the left hand. And going for the rebound, we've got a foul on.
Oh, I think Brandon Schwab only pushed. Great call by Tony Brothers.
Well, Minnesota gets it right back. Edwards pass deflected by Merrill. Cleveland's got it back. Just a 5-point game. Garland, Tyson, Allen, Tomlin, Merrill playing together for the locals. Great hesitation, switch of gears, and a finish by Garland.
Wow, that is a tough shot. One hand off the dribble over Rudy Gobert.
Darius's dad used to be a starting point guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves back in the 90s. Long time ago. Winston Garland. And a reach-in foul. Have in his bag. Bones Highland. Out to Jinglin. Yo! Welcome to Cleveland, Joe Ingles. That's his first three-pointer of the year, and it comes in January. Tyson, deflected by Gobert. That's now 3 blocks by Rudy Gobert. Garland, influenced by Gobert. Allen, influenced by Gobert. And a foul.
Wow, okay.
Jared Allen, up and down. Prime's exclusive wild card game is tonight.
But just a line from a couple of people saying, now Steve Nash can maybe talk about this at halftime. They want to know who my starting five's going to guard.
Oh, you don't worry if you score 180 points.
That's what I said. With Nash, Doncic, Dirk Nowitzki, yeah, Giannis is going to be overloaded defensively. And Jokic, though, you're going to have to score 150 to beat us. So I think it's a pretty good team, but I am getting a little defensive pushback from some knowledgeable people.
Shot clock's down to 1. But Minnesota's got a man there. A1 since day one, Anthony Edwards rings the bell. Bodies flying. That'll be Joe Ingles' first foul in a couple of months as he runs it. Allen made a pair just a moment ago.
No.
That was before he was...
Because back in his AAU days, he knew he had a chance to play for a while. And he knew that no one would ever want the number 31. He figured wherever I go, whatever team I'm on, whatever college I go to, 31's going to be available. Somewhere 31. Ingles out to Randall. Donovan Mitchell back into the game, comes up with a loose ball. Final 4 minutes of our first half. Garland leaves it for Allen. Second dunk of the game for Jared Allen. Makes up for the missed free throw. DiVincenzo, a little stop and pop.
That's a tough shot, but I like what Garland did there, chasing him over the top off the three-point line and made him shoot that floater in the lane, a much lower percentage shot when you're talking about expected points.
Ball's moving around quickly for Cleveland, and it results in 3 for Merrill.
They always know where Sam Merrill is. That's his first three-point look tonight, though he did get fouled on a 3.
Merrill shoots 44%, blocked at the rim. Oh, and
Clutch. It'll be interesting to watch his second half. I think it'll go down to the wire.
Easy lay-in for Darius Garland. Cleveland fell apart in the third quarter against Minnesota on Thursday. To a man, you'd assume they all remember that.
Oh, they gave up 43 points in that third quarter.
Randall, free throw, little pop. Oh my goodness, Gobert. That snaps a streak of 19 consecutive makes. He wants a do-over. That is a new franchise record, though. 19 straight makes. It's a big number.
That is a big number.
Another three-pointer block for Cleveland. DiVincenzo swats it away from Merrill. Tied at 65. Randall off the window and in.
Randall so strong, and if you let him get to that left hand, it's almost impossible to stop him.
Merrill had it blocked a moment ago. This time gets it over DiVincenzo.
Oh, he got wide open. They ran a little Spain-type action with the screener rolling and Merrill popping out.
Cleveland hasn't led very often in this game, and they only lead for about 12 seconds there as Julius Randle answers. 1-point lead for Minnesota. Mitchell. Off the window and in.
Well, these two teams are trying to win today the way my international starting five would have to win. A lot of offense, Steve Nash, because we don't have to stop anybody if we score enough.
Randall got away with a push-off. Karma got him, leaves it short. Here come the Cavaliers with a 1-point lead. And Merrill dribbled it off his shoe. Unforced error. Team with a bullet, lost in the second round, decided to run it back. And that hadn't been a great decision. Only 21 and 18, but still with a ton of season remaining.
And Cleveland knew from the beginning that where they were going to be judged would be in the playoffs, Eric, and it's still going to be the same. Now, you got to make sure you get in that top 6. That's the big thing.
Third dunk of the afternoon for Rudy Gobert. Leads the NBA in that category, as per usual. Oh, my goodness. Jared Allen. That was almost as bad as Gobert's.
Yeah, at least he caught the rim.
Gobert and Allen are two of the all-time greatest field goal shooters in NBA history. Two of the top 3, but both with bad misses here in our third quarter. That's a bad miss, too, for Ant-Man. Oh, he missed a layup, but his buddy Gobert there to tap it through.
I actually think they gave that one to Edwards.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
So an offensive rebound, too. And Garland is...
Your defense going to be pretty good.
They really are 2 and 3 all-time in NBA history in field goal percentage. They look up to only one man, DeAndre Jordan. A lot of people look up to DeAndre Jordan. What happens when you're 7 feet tall?
Mobley continues to struggle from 3. The last 12 games now, 7 for 32.
Is that his game?
No.
Does he need that part of his game to be an effective player?
No, but if he could get to where he was and shoot 35, 36%, keep defenses honest.
What a shooter Sam Merrill has become.
Well, and Donovan Mitchell recognizing Jared Allen there, if you see him giving recognition, because Allen's rim run is what opened up Merrill, and Mitchell knew where he was going with that ball all the way.
Evan Mobley cleans up the miss by Mitchell, and it's the largest. No, not quite. Cleveland back up by a pair. McDaniels steps out behind the arc. DiVincenzo keeps it with the Timberwolves. Gobert a misfire. Mobley. Old school. I love it. The old YMCA, but finished like an NBA.
He said he immersed himself in the culture.
After the timeout, DiVincenzo with a miss. Cleveland's on a 7-0 spurt.
Cleveland dodged a bullet again, shooting the gap on DiVincenzo.
Allen comes up short. Both sides playing with their starting unit. Now 5 minutes into our second half.
Do it. Say the main thing is get the ones you know you're going to win.
That's the 23rd time this year that Cleveland's won a challenge. And it results in a Merrill 3. Hotter than a pepper sprout. Another big game from behind the arc from Merrill. That is now 4 made three-pointers.
Yeah, he's now made 20 in the 4 games. He's been back after missing the Denver game last week.
He has the longest active streak of making at least 4 three-pointers in the league. No one has done it better over the last 2 weeks than Sam.
I'm working with you. Yeah, no, that's good.
Allen give the assist to Garland. And Cleveland, their largest lead of the afternoon. Anthony Edwards time. Oh my goodness, to have that kind of ability sure would be nice.
Struggling a little bit to get it in the basket, but God, great time here.
That basket by Edwards snapped a 12-0 run for Cleveland. Minnesota has not gone to the bench here in the third quarter. They've rolled with their starters, and their starters have spit the bit. one-on-one. Old school Dwayne Wade.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anthony Edwards, we said it at the start of the half. He and Mitchell both great in second halves.
Garland, little hesitation, nothing there. He now has Gobert in front of him. Wow, Rudy Gobert gets a little guard, and it still goes through for Garland.
Wow, is that a difficult shot? He's having a great day, 7 for 10 now.
He throws that little floater in the lane, probably higher than anyone else, and it never seems to hit anything. Bully ball. Edwards up and in. This is a guy who has got a
one zone out of that timeout.
Tyson with a bad miss. Minnesota's made some changes for the first time. They bring in Clark, and another finger roll for Edwards. Outside shot wasn't clicking. He takes it right to the rack. Mobley, another dunk. The master of the chin-up. He now has 4 dunks. McDaniels crawls it up and in. That's an and. Minnesota beat this Cavalier team in Minneapolis 2 days ago. Final score is 131-122. We have a similarly played game. A lot of scoring here on a Saturday afternoon in Cleveland.
Minnesota in the zone again.
Lefty hook short by Mobley. Loose. Picked up by Porter. And Mobley will go to the line. Oh boy. Let's take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule. Monday, January 12th on Peak.
Carlisle of the Pacers finally the other night getting that 1,000th win. What a great career he has had coaching in different locations.
Anthony Edwards keeps the dribble alive, is fouled by Mobley. And Edwards goes to the line.
Atkinson's laughing on the side.
Edwards a very good free throw shooter. 1 out of 2 for Edwards. 2-point game. Craig Porter Jr. Donovan Mitchell. Had to get it over the outstretched arms of McDaniels.
Just such great balance on that. His third made 3 of the night. There's now only a 3-shot difference in made threes between these two teams as Cleveland 4 for 5 in the quarter.
Donovan Mitchell survives the contact. Start this quarter with Highland, DiVincenzo, both Delawareans, Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, and McDaniels, the 5 on the floor.
Expect more from the Stars here in the fourth quarter.
And an early foul called against
Atkinson.
Cleveland did a better job of defending the 3-point line. Timberwolves had just 1 third-quarter 3-pointer. Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, tough finish. Merrill did a great job chasing him, so he didn't have the 3, but able to get downhill to his strong-handed finish.
Mitchell had McDaniels riding him, and he's... Cleveland wins the race to the century mark. It's a free trip to NBA All-Star 2026. Donovan Mitchell will be there.
Yeah, for sure. Mitchell and Edwards will be there. Obviously, Cleveland had 4 guys a year ago. I'm not sure any of the other 3 get in this year.
Naz Reid on top of Evan Mobley.
Nice move. Don't see a lot of straight post-ups anymore in the NBA, but a very good one there.
That's a pass and a beauty! Left-handed hammer, Evan Mobley.
Wow.
That pass almost hit the top of the backboard.
That was up there.
6 dunks for Mobley, 5 in the second half. Bones Highland answers.
5 assists for Mitchell down there. Hanging in this game.
Mobley. Nice touch. Mobley's got the last 4 for the Cavaliers. McDaniels over Mobley.
But that is a thing that over my time in the league, is there's so many guys have that shot now as we see Minnesota back in the zone.
Sam Merrill shooting the blood out of another ball. Oh my goodness, that's now 5 triples for Merrill. He's 5 for 6 from behind the arc.
Now there's a reason that Cleveland has been much better with Merrill in the lineup than when he's been out.
DiVincenzo. Porter Jr. is into the game for Cleveland. This is Mobley. He has picked it up in the fourth quarter.
Wow, what a game he's having. 11 for 16 from the floor.
Hasn't missed a shot in the fourth quarter. He's 3 for 3. No quitting Naz Reid. That guy's a stud.
It's only their third 3 of the second half after making 12 in the first half.
Typical game for Reid, 18 points off the pine. Long rebound run down by Porter Jr. Merrill was behind the defense, and Gobert intercepts the ball, but then loses it.
It's the second time here in the last few minutes that Gobert's rebounded the ball and then lost it.
12 rebounds for Gobert to go with 8 points. Ripped away by Merrill. Maybe a better defender than he appears to be. And we have got a timeout called by...
With 26 and a half free throw attempts per game.
DiVincenzo is pushed by Tomlin. As you mentioned in the first half, the only current NBA player from the United States who didn't play high school basketball.
Yeah, discovered by Monroe Community College in Rochester, New York. A former college player of mine, Jerry Burns, was his first coach in organized basketball at Monroe Community College.
It's hard to do, folks. That's taken the rough road to the NBA.
Yeah, I coached the guy way back when. You remember Anthony Carter, who's now an assistant in the league.
His son,
was it? Right.
On the goal, rocking the cradle and finishing the left hand is Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson, great finish.
Naz Reid, a handful for Tomlin. He's got him beat in size. He's got him beat with 2 right at the bucket.
Wow, we've seen them really go to Naz Reid in the post. He's now got 20.
8-point lead for the locals. 11-point lead for the locals. Garland to 3.
Well, they've now outscored Cleveland by 12 points from behind the arc in the second half.
DiVincenzo is the whole package offensively. 6 of 9 shooting, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. Garland. Another soft touch floater.
These teams combined for 253 points the other night. We got a good chance to get past that tonight.
Cleveland probably needs it more than Minnesota. Cleveland limping right now. Tied for 7th with Orlando in terms of the Eastern Conference. Garland leaves it for Allen. McDaniels is tripped up.
The 5. They're going to have to play some defense, clearly. You're down 13 points. You're not getting in it just by scoring.
Mr. Beast is back with an all-new season of Beast Games. Will it be brains or brawn that wins a life-changing prize of $5 million going in? I'm telling you, this is like a late 70s game with all these guys using the window so well.
Yeah, they've now got 4 guys the Cavaliers do with 20 or more.
Blocked. Allen takes it away from Randall. Cleveland's largest lead of the game at 16.
Of wild card weekend for sure. I'm actually going to take the Packers in that.
I lived long enough in Chicago to kind of say I brought to Chicago to win, but I lived long enough in Chicago to know that the Packers are probably going to win. Whoops! Can I go back to Chicago?
Probably not.
Naz Reid, a lot of fight left in that dog.
Wow.
No quarter given, Naz Reid. coming off the bench with 23 points, an effective 23, 8 of 11 shooting, 5 of 6 from behind the arc. Tyson. Tomlin rocks the cradle and finishes.
A great cut and a great find by Tyson.
Randall is accosted. He'll go to the free throw line.
And both teams now have given up basically layups.
Really common back in the 50s and the 60s, new parts in the 70s, but looks so unusual right now. He's wearing Chuck Taylors. But he might be. Could be related to Brian Cardinal even. Minutes of our contest.
Well, then he might be related to our own Iron Eagle.
Oh, an extra layer. I love it, Stan. Tyson matches for number 4. Cleveland take 10 consecutive shots. Just when they needed it most, Cleveland has gotten hot when he was New York State's all-time leading scorer. Kenny A.
And he ended at 37.
Must be just a crazy experience for Kenny Atkinson to waltz into Cleveland last year, to be the coach of the year, to win 64 games during the regular season, and then to have this season be just so different from last year. Nothing's come easy for Cleveland.
Not at all. And I think that's one thing that people who've been around it a long time understand, is that every season is different.
That miss breaks a streak of 10 consecutive made shots for the Cavaliers.
Cleveland's transition defense over the last 2 minutes has been deplorable.
Yet somehow they still lead by 14.
Oh, they've played great on the offensive end of the floor.
And for the most part, they've done it without Mobley, Merrill, and Mitchell. The 3M boys are waiting on the scores table right now. Tyson, 3-ball.
He's 4 for 4 from 3, 8 for 10 overall, and becomes the 5th Cavalier with 20+.
Edwards misses inside, and we've got a tie-up. Oh my goodness! Tomlin tapped it in! Tomlin wins the jump ball, but gives up a pair!
Who are they going to give that to?
Oh my goodness, he tapped the ball off the window and in. You can go a long time before you ever see that happen. Julius Randle. Time is not on the side of the Timberwolves. DiVincenzo saves it over to Mobley. Cavaliers have the ball with numbers. And Mobley is whacked. This is
Todd Fuller.
Oh, heck yeah.
When I was an assistant in Miami, used to do the same thing on planes. I mean, Todd was a great
dunks. His NBA career high in dunks is 7. For those of you who actually want to know, NBA high for dunks in a game is 10. Rudy Gobert, Montrezl Harrell, and Daniel Gafford, all with 10 dunks. They started recording dunks in 1990. The Frenchman and Rob Dillingham from Hickory, North Carolina, hits sports with Kevin and Keenan. New episodes every Tuesday, only on Prime.
Aaron Jay with the offensive rebound and then a bucket.
Hey!
And his family's probably watching in prime time right now in France.
Welcome to Cleveland, Johan Berenger. Tyrese Proctor going to get some burn for Cleveland. First time he touches it, a layup off the window for the Aussie. Proctor spent 3 years at Duke. Second round pick. Stolen away by Tomlin. And Tomlin, both ends of the floor, making the Flower City proud. We've got 2 Rochesterians on the floor. Thomas Bryant playing defense. Went to Bishop Kearney in Rochester. Actually just outside of Rochester for Ron DeCoit. But he's had a white hot before. Score the goal for Berenger. Now this is a nice win for the Cavaliers. They can probably use this as momentum as they move on. They've got Utah here on this floor on Monday as they try and reclaim their season that began with high hopes.
Yeah, which they have. This is the same group, basically, that won 64 games. Then you can definitely get it together as they get there as big a threat as anyone in the East to win it.
Stay tuned for the NBA Nightcap presented by Wayfair. Coming up next, a lot to talk about. It will be a busy day when it's all said and done around the NBA. Here's Thomas Bryant. Rochester's own Thomas Bryant. Been in the league a long time. Was actually part of that NBA title team in Denver, backing up Nikola Jokic. All right, we don't know how much more we're going to see of Joe Ingles.
I tell you, we've seen Donovan Mitchell, Gobert, and Ingles today. All major parts of those great Utah teams who were outstanding regular season teams. Never got as far as they would have liked in the playoffs, but very good basketball teams.
Here comes Jinglin Joe leading the break. Always been an elite passer. Finds Berenger. Berenger was actually taken 17th overall back in June. Very young, began the season, played games as an 18-year-old. Tyson back of the iron. That'll probably be Cleveland's last shot attempt of the game. And was the ball touched to what was on the backboard? Yep, goaltend.